everybody. Okay, I am redoing my 3rd grade curriculum video because the last one was so bad. I think I was in a delirium from taking a nap that day, and so yeah, I just figured I'd give you a more concise version without me being like, eh. So anyway, this is what I've chosen for 3rd grade for my son who is going to be doing 3rd grade in the fall. And yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the things that he'll be working on for 3rd grade specific, and then I'll show you at the end the things that we will work on all together. That way, if you've seen my other video on my 1st grade curriculum, you won't have to rewatch what we're going to be doing all as a group. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to start with the Learning Language Arts through Literature. This covers reading, vocabulary, spelling, grammar, writing mechanics, penmanship, and higher order thinking skills. And should I need any supplements, I do have those on hand. I have Explode the Code that we can do. I have Easy Grammar we can tap into if we need to, and All About Spelling. Also have a handwriting book that if I need to, we can use that to supplement. So, and if not, I will save those for either the next baby or I will sell them. Okay, this is the teacher's manual. And it just basically gives you a guide. It kind of tells you when to read certain books, and actually his book tells you that too. Gives you the answers for different things. Just kind of as a step-by-step breakdown. It tells you when you need to refer to the back of the book for answers that they're doing. And basically this is broken into lessons. One lesson is a whole week, and each day is broken up by numbers. So you have, like, this is day 4, day 5. It also has review activities that you don't have to use. They're kind of optional. If you notice your student really just needs more work on that subject, you can use those. That's really left up to you. So yeah, that's that. And this is the student book. And I feel like this is a very gentle approach to English language arts. It does have copy work. They have spelling words are usually 5 words, and then a extra word that's like a sight word. And they have them repeat throughout the week, repeatedly write these down or notice your spelling words, look at them, spell them out loud, you know, different things like that. Little word find puzzles for it. So yeah, and it's basically laid out a lot like the teacher's manual. They follow each other. The handwriting is very, very gentle. There's not a whole lot of handwriting practice in here. That's why I think a supplement might be a good idea, just for more practice. Just because my guy does not like to write. So while I think it's great that there's not a lot, I think he needs more practice than just this. And which it does get more as they go. So that's this book. See, like, they have this, but I mean, even this is not very much. I think it does get more lengthy. Like, eventually they'll write words and things, but I just feel like by 3rd grade he should be able to be writing in cursive more. So we'll take that as it comes. And then these are some books that go with. These are like extra reading that they will use, and it talks about them in the book. The Courage of Sarah Noble, Meet George Washington, The White Stallion, and also Madeline, the book, is ones he will read throughout that. And then I'll start with this. This is the Horizons Math Teacher's Manual. This is a spiral math approach. The teacher's manual is laid out where they basically tell you what lesson it is. They tell you everything you need to know, and really, you really should do a lot of what they suggest in the manual. That's in addition to the workbooks. Like, there's a lot of drill practice that they suggest, and it really does help them. We don't do as much drill as what they suggest. We should, but we don't. For better or for worse, we don't. Every 10th lesson, there's a test, and I'll show you that in the workbook. But basically, they spiral through the lessons, and basically as you go, it just gets a little harder. The skills get more in depth. You'll notice about this book, if you've used the previous years ever, you'll notice that, oh, I have a big shadow on my whole book. Didn't know that. Oh well. Sorry, this is a shadowy version. The numbers are getting a lot smaller, which means they expect him to write a lot smaller. I expect that will be a challenge because it's already a challenge to write small for him. But basically this is going to cover addition and subtraction just at a higher level. Everything at a higher level. Telling time to the minute. We're working in hundreds and thousands. Here's adding hundreds. He's already been borrowing and carrying this year. It's just going to get harder. We're going to start doing equations, which should be interesting. Don't like those. I don't like those, but we're going to figure out how to do them. I'm sure I will remember once I get into it, but I don't. Yeah. They cover Roman numerals. They cover shapes and like just lots of skills, calendar skills, fractions. He's going to actually be, I think, adding and subtracting and reducing fractions this year. Just everything is going to be on a harder scale. Harder and apparently smaller. It's like, so yeah, if you're already familiar with this program, I have found it to be a very strong program. Math is, I would not say is my second grader right now, is not his favorite subject. We have struggles with it. Not struggle with the material. He understands how to do it. He just doesn't like to do it. So this is book 2. Covers the first half of the year, and then you get a new book for the second half, which I really like because after the first part of the year, it gets really ratty. So I like the way they break it up. We're doing like area, finding the perimeter, the area of things. Here's division, reducing fractions. Yeah, reducing fractions. Mama's gonna need a major refresher course in math this year. Maybe I'll learn a thing or two and it'll come easier to me later. There's some long division we'll be doing. Lots and lots of stuff. Find the volume. Lots of things I do not recall. Okay, these are some science readers we'll be using. These are both from Rebecca Science, Exploring God's World, and then the Health, Safety, and Manners. And they are geared toward 3rd grade, but I'm sure the information is stuff the girls will benefit from hearing too. It has some suggested science experiments, things to try that we can talk about and do. Lots of different subjects, animals, and different places, and like the ocean. They had one on the desert. Things we can study about and just read through, learn about, journal about. A lot of times this is where I get ideas for extra things to learn, maybe watch different videos about, that kind of thing. This is health and safety. I was just learning about how your body works, how to stay safe, how things grow, you know, diet, that kind of thing. Then this one is, these are the compilation readers like we've been using this year. This just might be extra reading to supplement for him. So these have, this is like the ones he's been doing this year. Had different stories, and when you get to the end of the story, or the end of the chapter, it'll have writing, suggested writing things to do, different things like that. So we use those. It has vocabulary that we talk about sometimes, you know, that kind of thing. And then this one is this is the second half of the year, just a different company, but same idea that we can use if we decide to. I'm not sure that we will use these. These would be supplemental. I really would like to get to where I can find readers on his level and that cover things he's interested in. This is Bible. These came with some little verse cards that tell about each of the topics we'll talk about. And then the book covers This is what we will do all together during circle time, if I didn't mention that already. So let's see. Like, for example, this is courage. So they're going to talk about Daniel in the lion's den. Courage is standing alone for righteousness, and they have a scripture that goes with it. Has a story from the Bible, a story from someone in history, and a story from the people who wrote this. It's like basically their grandkids on the farm and are like interacting with each other, what they've learned about that character trait. And then at the end it has questions. It has projects we can do. So we will spend, there's 13 units in here. We will spend 2 weeks on each unit or so, and just fully delve into what these topics mean. You can use the scriptures for copy work, that kind of thing. I also have Everett's Bible that he started reading at the middle of this semester. Maybe, well, probably just like a month or two ago. And he's up to scripture number 35. Actually, I think he's a little bit further on. No, I think he's at 35 or something like that. 35, 38, somewhere in there. We do a couple of scriptures a day with that. So he will just continue that, hopefully through the summer. I want to get him like in that habit of having a habit of reading his Bible. And then the last thing we're going to do all together is 5 in a Row, Volume 2. And this will help us cover science, social studies, geography, history, art. It does talk about language arts. It talks about math. I don't know that we will use this for that, but you know, for each one, like say Owl Moon, it has, you read the book, you're supposed to read the book 5 times in a row, like every day. Usually I do these units 2 weeks at a time, so we might read it 5 times over the course of the 2 weeks. And we use other books, like this is about owls. We will probably read other books about owls. But I'll just briefly show you. It has like social studies. We're going to talk about relationships. This one's between father and child, relationships rules, maturity, self-control, bravery, realistic expectations, social studies, the setting of the stories in the woods, the first time experiences. This one is language arts, poetic language, literary devices like hyperbole, imagery, first person point of view, art. We're going to look at the details in the pictures, aerial view, trees and shadows. A lot of times I'll find tutorials and things and we can try these methods out. This is math. It covers units of time, when time is altered, hours of the day, of daylight and dark. Science, we'll learn about owls. We'll learn about bird calls. Naturalist, a naturalist is patient. Lots of things we will learn in here. The phases of the moon, tracks, woodland habitat, and shadows. So that's, I mean, that's all like a packed out thing that we will learn so many topics from. And these are the books that go with it. Tale of Peter Rabbit, Wee Gillis, Miss Rumphius, When I Was Young in the Mountains, They Were Strong and Good, The Story of Ferdinand, Harold and the Purple Crayon, Follow the Drinking Gourd, Owl Moon, A New Coat for Anna, Mariette on the High Wire, Make Way for Ducklings, and Baybar, To Duet or Not to Duet, 3 names. Okay, so that's my concise version and more awake and happy version of my choices for 3rd grade curriculum for the coming year, which we will start probably August 1st, or I think it's actually July 31st this year because that's the Monday. I don't want to start school in July. Just mentally, I can't take it, but I think that's what we're doing this year. If you have any questions, comments, anything you'd like to know further than what I explained just now, leave comments below. If you like this video, feel free to give it some love. If you don't, sorry about that. And yeah, tune in again next time. Bye.